All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Here it is Sunday night, the 25th of January, and the days are flying by. My name is Scott Nelson here in Spokane, Washington. I want to welcome everybody that's taking time out of a very busy Sunday. We know that we normally don't do any broadcasting on Sunday except when there is urgency going on in people's lives, and it's really actually the very best night to be able to catch people that are at home as they prepare for a new work week. And so we want to thank you for taking time out. I did a webinar broadcast and a training yesterday for our Karatbars existing members and their friends and guests. And there was such a huge response with emails of people that were not going to be able to attend, that had people that they wanted to invite, and they wanted to know if there would be a possibility that we could do a special Sunday evening broadcast. And we try to accommodate everybody. So here we are tonight, and we're going to go through this in about the next 45 minutes, have a lot of updates, a lot of information. So I would really encourage everybody, take notes and follow along here. We are going to show you quite a bit of information about Karatbars International, and we're also going to talk about a very unique business model for those of you who are entrepreneurial and not only understand the importance of exchanging our dollars and our fiat currencies for real value, which is 24 karat pure gold, but also an opportunity for those of you that are really business minded entrepreneurs that would like to look at a simple business model that you can do in about 20 to 30 minutes per day, that has the potential of yielding a minimum of $4,500 in residual income each and every week or more in as little as just 90 days. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But what I want to talk about to start is this company, Karatbars International. I was introduced back in 2011 by a very good friend and trusted business associate, Jeff and Helen Dawson, who live down in Costa Rica. And they let me know about, I was already buying gold, and I was also buying silver at that time. But never in my life had I ever seen an opportunity with a company not only to be able to provide gold at a very affordable rate that everybody can afford. Because let's face it, if you're going to go out and buy 1 ounce gold or a bar of gold, you could spend thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars on gold. And Karatbars has really provided all of us with a universal solution to the worldwide debt, currency, and savings crisis. Now, Karatbars is headquartered over in Germany, over in Stuttgart. They began operations as Karatbars International in 2011, actually launched into internet sales of small denominations of gold back in 2007, 2008. But because they became a affiliate marketed company, which allows people to not only purchase their gold through their own secure websites, but also gave people that were entrepreneurial the opportunity to become a free affiliate with Karatbars, and not only be able to purchase their own gold, but also be able to recommend Karatbars to other people and start to be able to earn commissions, and even more importantly, be able to earn free gold with the Karatbars International Compensation Plan. Now, Karatbars is now doing business not in 121, but actually 123 countries in the world. And they specialized in the actual production. And these are small, transaction friendly, 999.9 fine 24 gold bullion bars. Karatbars is very unique in the fact that they've made gold affordable for you and I. They also offer you an option of either having your gold delivered to your front door. We have partnered with FedEx over at our secure vault and storage area. We also offer free storage options that allow you, the customer or affiliate, to actually store up to 100 grams of this gold free for 1 full year in our state-of-the-art secure vaults. Our founder is a true visionary, Harold Seitz, and of course you can tell by his name, Harold is 100% German, and he is a wonderful man. I've not met him myself, but I have talked with him, and he has a passion, not just a mission, but a passion to produce the highest quality gold available in the marketplace. It's called currency grade gold. It is certified. We have our gold refined and produced for us by one of the 50 LBMA certified refineries in the world, and it is the highest quality certified gold available and accessible to masses of people around the world. There are literally hundreds of thousands of transactions every single week going on with Karatbars. In fact, I was talking to Jeff Dawson, who introduced me to Karatbars, and there are certain days right now where there's upwards of 15 to 20,000 gold purchases per day happening right now. And so obviously Harold's visionary statement about providing the masses of people around the world a simple price point that everybody can afford. And that's exactly what Karatbars has done. Now, if you don't think there's a global financial crisis, and of course, you know, business and the economy around the world is literally in collapse right now. People say, well, when do you think the United States economy is going to go over the fiscal cliff? My friends, in case you don't know, our economy went over the fiscal cliff back in 2007, 2008, when the market and housing bubble collapsed. And the only thing we've been able to do over the last 7 years is to pump funny money, printed fiat currency back into the system and into the stock market to really give the illusion, as President Obama and his spin masters might try to convince you, that we are in an economic recovery. Well, I can tell you we're not. In fact, I want to show you real quickly. Yesterday, I had some notes printed up here for our Karatbars training, and I said to the people, I hope everybody can see this. Let me enlarge that a little bit. And this is from yesterday, and I've updated this a little bit. Yesterday we said, well, these are signs that the world and the impending currency crash is coming. The world economy and the currencies are dropping like rocks. Look at the euro. It has dropped like a rock since just last week when the Swiss National Bank actually unpegged itself from the euro. The euro at that time was around $1.28. And in just the last 2 weeks or so, the euro has dropped all the way down. And yesterday, I had this number here where it says 111. It was actually 112. But I noticed that the market over in Europe and Asia is already open, and the euro has opened at under 112. I think it was at 111.8 when I checked a few hours ago. The Greek elections, I said, watch what happens in the Greek election this weekend, which was actually today. Remember, this was written yesterday. It said, watch and see if the new Liberal Party, which is called Syriza, wins, because if they are, or if they do, which they did, Greece has promised that they will either leave the euro, or that if they want them to stay, they have to forgive over $600 billion in debt. This new liberal Syriza party has said that they will have no part any longer with the austerity regulations that the IMF and the World Bank has put them under. They are going to be willing to suffer to try to rebuild their crashed financial system on their own. And as you can see down here in the bold letters, this was just announced. Their leader, Cyprius was his name, or Cyprus, declares an end to the vicious cycle of austerity after Syriza wins the Greek election. These things are happening. Now you can look, and I noticed there was a picture today of Syriza leader Cyprus with the same anti-austerity leader from Spain, And Spain has promised, along with Ireland, Portugal, and Italy, to follow these same exact steps. If these countries all follow the lead of Greek by becoming anti austerity, you can count on major bank runs all over Europe. And if that happens, it's just going to be a matter of time before we start our bail ins here in the United States and in Canada. So, here we go again. Look at yesterday. Crude oil yesterday was at about $46. Okay. Well, crude oil basically today on the world market opened at 44, under 44.75 a barrel. And I've been warning people to watch the price of crude oil. It's dropped over 50% in the last few months. And most economic experts are telling us that if it goes to $40 or below, that will precede an immediate world collapse of the economic system. Look at the last week's announcement by the European Central Bank to start on March 1st a 1.1 trillion euro bank scheme, a money printing scheme, much like what we did here and failed miserably in the United States. That's why you see the euro debasing itself, and most people think that it will be on par with the US dollar as early as the next week or two. And these are just things that we really, really need to be watching. This is happening right now as we are speaking. And we have to really understand we are in the middle of a global financial crisis. And so the question I have for those of you that have taken time to join us tonight is, what are you going to do about it? What are you doing right now to prepare yourself against what is coming? Are you at all nervous? I mean, everybody's talking about the financial situation, even on the liberal elite owned secular media stations like CNBC, CNN, Fox News, which never give you anything other than what the government wants to give you. If you want to find out the truth about what is going on in the global financial system, you've got to get into the internet and you've got to start spending some time digging around. But I'm going to tell you this, more and more people are getting nervous. And that makes our business with Karatbars actually thrive because people are looking for a place that they can go to protect their assets and their family's assets as we move forward. Now, experts like Robert Kiyosaki, Mike Maloney, even Warren Buffett have been screaming from the rooftops, recommending to us to exchange your devaluing currency, whether it's the euro, the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, and exchange that fiat currency for real gold. For most people, however, it's been so expensive to buy large gold bars or even gold coins. But thank heavens for Karatbars International. Because of that, things are about to change. Now, you see, one thing that never does lie are numbers. And since the days of the Great Depression back in 1932, the dollar, the US dollar, and the Canadian dollar has lost more, but the US dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power. And most people are telling us that the US dollar is losing close to 1/2 to 1% of its actual value each and every month. But at the same time, gold has soared in value by more than 4,300% over that same time frame. Now, history does and is repeating itself. So is this something that makes sense to you? If you've got something that has lost 98% of its purchasing power and you can simply pull it out of the pocket and exchange it for a intrinsic and valuable 24 karat gold bar that's affordable, that has increased by over 4,300% since 1932, what do you think you should be doing? This is a really great graph right here that shows in 1913 A dollar was worth a dollar when the Federal Reserve was created. And then you can see through the process of time how that dollar has eroded. In fact, this chart ends in 2013. But isn't it amazing that in just 100 years, you can see that in this graph, the US dollar lost 95% of its purchasing power? And what do you think is going to happen when things really get crazy? I love this graph because this shows you what would have happened in 1932 when you compare gold versus worthless paper currency called fiat currency. Fiat currency only has the backing not of gold anymore because Richard Nixon in 1971 took us off of the gold standard. But as you can see here, if you had $100,000 in cash in 1932, not even 100 years ago, it's now worth only about $2,000 in actual purchasing power. How would you feel if that was the case? If you were still alive and you had $100,000 and somebody actually pointed out this fact? Now, at the same time, if you were to have taken that very same $100,000 and bought gold with it in 1932, look at what that gold would be worth today. A staggering $4.5 million. Ouch. Well, the solution is simple and it's really, really easy to do with Karatbars. That's the good news. You can simply exchange that worthless fiat currency, taking it out of your billfold or your wallet or out from underneath your bed. And I do want to add that I want to advocate that because of what I believe will be the impending collapse and the closure of our banking system as we know it now, because there'll be an attempt to steal your money that was already approved with the new legislation that was approved at the recent G20 summit, where the banks now claim your money as theirs because as you go in and make a deposit into your bank, the new G20 legislation says that you actually are now giving them your money as an investment. And if the bank is experiencing financial difficulties or there's a risk of collapsing, they are now able to legally seize your deposits to try to keep their doors open. So, how much money do you right now have in your bank? If you've got money, the only place you should have it is at home, because I believe that when the banks close their doors, which I think is coming at least at the beginning, I think we're going to get a very abrupt announcement anytime now that's going to say the banks are closing for 3 or 4 days. We've had a computer glitch. And when they open up, I think 3, 4, 5 days later, you're going to find that your bank accounts could be drained. And so if that happens, of course, when the banks close, there'll be no electronic access to your ATM machine. There'll be no access to go into your bank lobby. And of course, you will not be able to do any electrical transaction using your bank credit cards or debit cards. And so let me ask you a question. If the banks were to close their doors like they did in Cyprus for almost 20 days, what would you do if you didn't have any cash on hand? How would you buy your groceries? How would you fill up your gas tank? So I do recommend, if you can do it, is to stick at least 2 to 3 months of what you need to survive in real dollars and keep it in a safe place where you can access it readily. So I do really highly recommend that. But in this case, everything else, you should merely be exchanging it for real gold currency. And when we do this, we're not actually spending. This is what I love about Karatbars, is we're not spending money. We're simply exchanging into real gold. You know, people say, well, what makes Karatbars so different from a home-based business opportunity? I say, well, let me ask you a question. Does your company, your ABC Vitamin Company, do they actually pay you to save money? And with Karatbars, we should all be saving money. I'm sure everybody on this webinar tonight would probably agree. Shouldn't we be saving money every single time that we get paid? That's the way we were brought up. But anymore, the dollar's not worth anything. The banks don't pay any interest, so we can't save money like we used to. But that doesn't negate the need to save. So really, we just do this. We actually get paid because we are saving in gold, and gold has a intrinsic value. It has a value that has increased over 4,300% in the last 75 to 80 years. And it is easy to do. And what happens is when we refer other people and help them to set up their gold savings account, guess what? We start to earn money. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But let's focus a little bit about our unique product, the actual Karatbars Gold, because we really do have a category creator. Each of the Karatbars comes in either a 1 gram bar, as you see at the bottom left, the second size gold we have that comes in our 2.5 gram bar size, and then the third card holds our biggest bar, our 5 gram bar. Now, each of these cards and each of the bars has a unique serial number. It's actually applied to each of the Karatbars Gold card. It's also stamped and accredited by an LBMA, that's London Bullion Market Association accredited refinery. It's pure gold. The purity is certified and assayed as 999.9 fineness. This is the only gold accepted, not just Karatbars, but 999.9 LBMA accredited refined gold is the only gold in the world that is accepted by every nation of the world as payment for debt. Okay, that makes us hugely different. It's available in small, affordable units, the 1.01 gram, the 2.5, and the 5 gram card. And of course, it's available for the masses everywhere. And of course, each of our cards and each of our gold is hologrammed with a security feature that adds additional protection. Now, Karatbars gives you a number of different options. There are those of you that are listening tonight that have a desire to do this as potentially a business. You want to become an affiliate. Others may have people, or you may be one yourself, that just wants to open a free savings account, starting a free savings account where you can go in and either make a one-time purchase, you can exchange one time, or you can exchange as often as you like. You are going to have the opportunity to have your gold delivered right away through FedEx, or you can request the free storage option. Others might want to start a weekly or monthly plan that allows them and their family to get onto a regular gold savings plan. And some of you will want to get paid to save gold. So we have no charge for you to set up an account with Karatbars. You can become a free affiliate or a free customer. And on our weekly plan, which we're going to talk about, which we call our 12-week business model, you're going to make a commitment to start saving a minimum of 1 gram or more each and every week. So you can exchange a little each month or a lot, depending on what you want to do. And the wonderful thing is that when you set up your account with Karatbars, you are giving your very own secure website, and you get to transact your own business in the privacy of your own home or your office. Now, why Karatbars? Well, obviously, we have hundreds of thousands of affiliates and customers. We're now doing business in 123 countries, not 121. It's a proven concept because our affiliate program was started almost 4 years, actually 4.5 years ago now, since early 2011. And it's a trusted and respected company. The German business laws and the regulations are probably amongst the strictest laws in the world today. It's a very unique product because it's small, affordable, pure gold, and it is accredited and refined. It's an LBMA approved and certified Good Delivery Refinery. You can take a little bit closer look here at our gold. It comes embossed in these credit card type size. It's secured, it's laminated. It can withstand extremely low temperatures or extremely hot temperatures. The name of the refinery and the number of that refinery and its individual security number is stamped onto each bar of gold. This will certify not only the weight and the purity, but it will also make it very easy in case you have people ask me all the time, what happens if I get into a real crunch and I need to exchange my gold and get some cash? Well, I've gone over to our local gold shop because people ask me that, and I wanted to let you know my experience. I walked in to the local gold shop here in Spokane and had actually a 5 gram card. And the guy who's working behind the counter says, "Wow, this is beautiful. I've never seen this quality of gold in our shop before. Where did it come from?" And I said, "Actually, Germany." He goes, "Ah, I can see." Took out his little eyepiece, whatever, and he said, "Wow, each of these is certified and stamped by Degussa." He was familiar with Degussa, which is one of the 50 approved LBMA accredited refineries. And he gave me, I think at that time it was about $45 or $50 a gram. So he gave me back around $250 in cash. And I walked out and I was on my way. So any gold and silver shop, London Bullion Market Association, our bars, our Karatbars are produced only by the LBMA. It's on a good delivery list. Why is this important? Because the LBMA benchmarks and regulates the acceptable requirements for gold and silver through its regularly updated publication of the London Good Delivery List. If you want to read more about their standards and how difficult it is to get a certification of a good delivery or to get onto the Good Delivery List, you can visit that website at lbma.org.uk. That's lbma.org.uk. And the hologram security, it's located on the back of each of the Karatbars. As long as this hologram remains intact, those who possess these specialty produced bars should never have the burden of needing to prove authenticity, fineness, weight, or to prove whether these have been manipulated or altered in any way. Now, you may not think that that's a big deal, but there's a huge amount of counterfeiting going on right now all around the world with gold. And you need to make sure that you understand this. If you're running around on eBay or you're going down to your local swap meet and buying gold, you're taking a huge risk. If you want to read about more about the gold that we use, make sure you visit akaratbars.com. That's www.akaratbars.com, and you will be amazed because people ask you all the time, well, what's the difference between 24 karat 999 fineness compared to what I buy over in the coin shop, my half ounce and 1 ounce golden eagles and Krugerrands? Well, if you were to melt those coins down, you would find out that they range anywhere from 75 to 87% pure. Now, you may argue that, oh, well, it says 999.9 pure. But do you realize if you walked in with a coin and they asked you to prove it, how could you prove it? They would not take the government mint's stamp on that coin as 999.9 pure as authentic if they had any question that there may be the least bit of a chance that that gold was counterfeited. And what they would ask you to do would be able to take it over to a melter or a refinery. We have one over here in Federal Way, Washington. They would probably charge me around $5,000 to melt down and certify that 1 ounce, which is worth $1,300 as pure gold. So do you think I would spend $5,000 to get certification? And that's why that akaratbars.com makes it really, really clear about our gold. Now, the quality, of course, these laminated cards act as a certificate of authenticity for the gold that is held inside. It's heat sealed with a special lamination technology that really protects it from the heat and from extreme freezing temperatures. So that's something that's very, very unique about Karatbars. Now we're going to talk about the opportunity with Karatbars. Many of you that are on here, you want to start a gold savings account. You can do that tonight for free. But many of you are also looking for a way to get your gold for free. Even if you were only able to do that and make no money, you would probably be interested in finding out about what I'm going to show you. But let me tell you that it has been absolutely amazing. In our first full year in 2014 with Karatbars, Stephanie, my wife, and I have been able to actually earn over 22 ounces now of free gold. If you do the mathematics, that would be worth nearly 30,000. And Karatbars has paid us well over $100,000 in cash, which has been wonderful because we've been able to exchange that or a good portion of that for additional gold. We just do not believe in keeping US dollars other than a few months of actual physical dollars here at the house, so that if something happens drastically, we can obviously get our needs met at least for a temporary period of time. But I'm going to make every effort, and Karatbars has made every effort to accurately represent our marketing plan and its potentials. So remember that everything that you see is a mathematical example. It does not guarantee your results. Those will depend really upon your marketing strategies, techniques, knowledge, education, and skills, and of course, the time and effort that you invest into your independent Karatbars business. And so we want to make sure that you know that Karatbars at no time guarantees your results or your success. They're not responsible for any of the financial decisions that you or I make in relation to promoting the products. And any income examples used are not to be considered average for the average Joe. We don't work with average people. We save with average people. We work with people that have a need and a hunger to protect their family and to earn free gold and extra money. It is mutually agreed that Karatbars, its affiliated entities, principals, employees are in no way responsible for the success or failure of your business decisions relating to any information presented by our company or our company products and services. You agree to hold Karatbars harmless, its affiliated entities, principals, employees, and other affiliates from and against any claim or damages, monetary or otherwise, and blah, 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 blah. So please sign on the dotted line. No, it's a long disclaimer, but I'm so tired of people getting into their own business, especially into an affiliate or a direct sales program, and they think that they don't have to do anything. And it just doesn't work. If you're here tonight and you're looking for an income with Karatbars that will supersede your wildest dreams, and yet you don't plan on treating this like a business, just open up a free affiliate account, start a weekly gold savings plan. Go ahead and refer your friends because you're going to start earning some money through our unilevel compensation plan. But if you're looking for the type of income that we're going to discuss and show you this 12-week business plan, you've got to take it serious. And so if you're just out here sniffing around, you're not seriously looking for a change, then feel free to watch this. But I don't want you to spend your hard-earned money to get started in making your purchase of a marketing package if you really aren't 100% fully committed. Because the keys to your success, of course, is your hard work and obviously having a simple, duplicatable system that's already in place. And so, what we're going to talk about over this next 30 minutes is really how to build a successful Karatbars weekly residual income through a strategy that you can do realistically if you really focus at around 20 to 30 minutes per day. So that's a couple of hours a week. I would say if you block out 5 hours a week from your busy schedule, if you're working a job, just over broke job, just make sure you plan to have a minimum of 30 minutes a day, so about 2 to 5 hours a week. And we're simply going to move some of your paper money and we're going to exchange that and turn it into real gold money. This is where you're going to actually learn to get paid to save and not to spend, and simply be able to exchange your worthless paper money or what we call fiat currency and exchange it into real gold. You're not actually going to be spending, you're just doing the wise thing. You're learning the correct way to save money. So you start by getting back to the person that invited you here tonight, right? Everybody gets to sign up. That's how it all starts. And you're going to start as either a free customer or a free affiliate. There's never a charge to register with Karatbars. And that's wonderful because as a free affiliate, you can buy your gold from your own secure website. You can refer others and you can earn a little override of up to 6%. And there's some extra little pool bonuses that as you build your Karatbars team, you can earn from. And of course, if you just want to go in and purchase gold, you don't really want to refer anybody, you don't share the message with anybody, then you can just become a customer and you can buy the gold and you can still take advantage of the free storage for up to 1 year, or you can have it sent directly to your house. But if you want to earn the money through our 12-week mathematical example, which we call our dual team system, you will immediately begin by acquiring a business package. Now you have 4 different choices of business packages, and this just depends on how much money you want to make and how quickly you would like to make it. But we have an entry level, we call a bronze package. It's a $135 one-time purchase. There's no monthly fee for your website or hosting fees. There's no required purchase. If you're going to be participating in the 12-week business model, then you are going to commit to saving a minimum of a gram of gold every week for the rest of your life. Your gold is going to become free, obviously, at some point in time, so you're not going to have to reach into your pocket anymore, but you're going to commit to saving a minimum of a gram per week for a minimum of 12 weeks or until your gold is free. We also have silver package, gold package, and VIP. So I guess I would really like to tell you that we have a package that works for everybody. And the wonderful thing is you can upgrade at any time. There's no penalty. You just pay the difference between the package that you currently have and the package that you're upgrading to, and there is no time restriction. And why you purchase one of these marketing packages, they call them business packages, is because what you're really doing, as you're going to see over the next 15 to 20 minutes, is you're going to open up the key to the Karatbars vault. Now, let me ask you, most of you have seen this graph before, but if I were to offer you either $1 million in cash right now or a penny doubled every day for just 31 days, what would you take? Most people that are not awake do not understand this process of what we call I can't even remember the term for it. Uh, but it's where your money doubles and it grows. And it is absolutely amazing what happens. If you were to take the $1 million and now you look at the chart below, you probably wouldn't be too happy with the choice, because if you doubled a penny every day, right, you would see that at the end of your 31st day, that penny would have turned in to $10,737,418.24. So I want you to pay attention. You can look all the way down as far back as day number 17, and you could say, wow, it's only worth $655 doubling it. But where you see the momentum pickup is when you get down into day 25, day 26, day 27. The big jump always happens in this type of environment in the last few days. It's the very same strategy for this 12-week business model. It's a strategy. This is not a 1-week plan or a 6-week plan, but a 12-week plan that the increase happens just like the penny. It happens dramatically in the last week or so. And so you'll see that as we walk through, because let's just say that you started and you purchased a package, in this case, a bronze package. And you were to establish your free account in your first week. You would also reach into your pocket at today's gold price. You would take about $63 and exchange it into a Karatbar 1 gram 24 karat bar and stick it into your gold piggy bank. And then you would do everything you can to find two educated people and qualified. This says lucky people. No, they'd be lucky if you introduce Karatbars and the simple 12-week strategy. But we call them people who are awake and people realize that they want to do something. And in that week, for all of your hard week, not only have you started your gold savings account, but you made a whopping $14. I bet you that's exciting. I bet you're glad you came to this 1 hour presentation to find out that in your first week, you could actually make a whopping $14. In fact, you're even more excited because in week 2, now you're working with your two people that you introduced, your qualified business partners. Remember, you're only looking for two, not two each week, just two total. And you're going to always continue to save that 1 gram of gold. So you take another gram, you've exchanged $63, and you've taken that gold carat bar and put it into your gold piggy bank. And because you helped your two people to do what you did in your first week, which was you purchased a bronze package and you did the same with them. This week, because you're working with them, you made a big whopping zero, a big goose egg. You didn't make anything because you were investing into your future by starting to build your Karatbars team. Week 3, it continues. You're still working with your people and their people to make sure that you build your team of 14. That means you take the two people that you found in your first week in this example. It doesn't have to be in your first week. We'd like it to be in a perfect world. Everybody finds their two business partners in their first week. But if it takes you 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever, it doesn't make any difference. You just move along and save your $63 in gold, and you're going to work with people. And in week 3, you made zero. So week 4 rolls around. Remember, you only had purchased your bronze package, and everybody so far has also only purchased that $135 package. And in week 4, wow, you're really stepping up into the world. Now you've made $26 because your team is just starting to grow. And then in week 5, you're still saving every week. You're taking $63, turning it into a gram of pure gold, sticking it in your piggy bank. And this week you made 39. But this is where I love it, because as a bronze package in this example, at week 6, if everybody was doing the same thing, and at the end of week 6, you were still saving your gram of gold, guess what? You've earned $65 that week. And because Karatbars will deduct that $65 for you because they want to give you your gram of gold. You've reached a point where I call it the ka-ching moment. And just in 6 weeks, you're no longer exchanging, you're still saving gold, but you're just not paying for your gold anymore. And it gets even better because in week 7, Karatbars deducts a gram of gold from your commissions because look at your commissions jumped up to $143 and you earned a gram of gold for free. And remember, everybody in your group, when they join and they purchase that bronze package, is really just doing the same thing. They're saving a gram of gold every week. They introduced just 2 people, and those people are doing exactly the same thing. Look at the bronze level, what happens when you move beyond week 7. Remember on that penny being doubled, how you start to see your income? Do you see that if this was perfect and everybody did the same thing, just introduced 2 qualified business partners and saved a gram of gold every week? How would you like it in a perfect world? It's just an example. It may take you 25 weeks. It may take you 60 weeks. It may take you 100 weeks. But look at the income. That's a weekly income at the end of week number 12, 90 days in this example. You would be pulling in $4,485 each and every week with Karatbars. That is, as you can see in this example, $230,000 a year. And you know what? That doesn't even cover all of the free gold that you can earn through our additional gold bonus program and incentive programs that Karatbars offers. Your commissions will be paid to you every week. Every new affiliate, when they earn their first $50, will be sent a Karatbars Gold MasterCard, and your commissions will be loaded onto that beautiful card each and every week on Friday. Now, here's something I want you, if you have to understand, this is going to increase. It actually says earn 2 times the money. No, it's actually 4 times the money. In fact, I should probably go in and, excuse me, and change that. But as a silver package, if you decided that you didn't want to start at the bronze, but that you wanted to start at the silver package, you would actually earn 4 times the money. That's right. You would earn over $17,000 a week. And by being a silver package, by activating your free gold perpetual acquisition stream, you would be earning your free gold in the perfect environment, not in that 6 weeks like we looked at, but actually in 4 weeks if you were a silver package. And you can look at by week 12, it says here as a silver package, it says 2 times, but it's actually 4 times. It's gone from $4,485 all the way up to $17,250 per week. That's 4 times the income. Look what happens by week 12 if you were a gold package. If you bought a gold package and everybody in your group was only a bronze package, your income would jump all the way up to $25,875 per week. That's over $100,000 per month. And then our CEO level is our VIP package. Look at what would happen. $32,500 per week, over $1.7 million per year. And remember, this is with you purchasing the VIP and everybody else in your group only being a bronze package. So we talked about the upgrades. A lot of times people say, well, I want to start as a VIP, but since I'm saving a gram of gold at $60 to $65 a week, I can't afford to start at the top, but I can afford to start at the bronze or the silver or the gold. This is what I love about Karatbars. They do not penalize you. You can upgrade between the package of what you bought and what you want, and you only pay the difference. There's no hidden fees. There's no administrative cost to upgrade. You pay only the difference with Karatbars. Now, with Karatbars, timing is everything. And if you haven't taken action, in the past to start protecting your family, you got to realize that these things are happening and they're happening very rapidly. Today, I had a gentleman who wrote me an email and he said, Scott, you're warning, and you're warning people about the economic collapse and the collapse of the global currency market. So if that happens in the next year or two, and all I'm able to save is a gram per week, doesn't give me a lot of time to protect my family long term. And I said to him in the email I wrote him back, I said, would you rather have 2 ounces of gold at the end of this year that you've been able to save, especially if gold were to go to $5,000 or $10,000 an ounce, than to have nothing? Should you just go ahead and bury your head in the sand and act like it isn't going to happen just because it's taken you all these years to get started? Folks, it's never too late to start planning for your future. You've got to start planning today. And you've got to plan like this is the last day of your life and pray that it's not. Pray God's mercy and his grace upon our lives that we'll have an extended period of time. But if you're not preparing, you better get started today. And I'm not saying you need to join Karatbars and you need to do this marketing system, but if you want to speed up the process, Stephanie and I never ever dreamed that when we started on this exact plan back in November of 2013, that by the end, just 13 months, we would have earned over 21 ounces of free gold. We've already earned another ounce this year already in the first 3 weeks. and over $100,000. And we're just getting started. We have seen our group of customers and affiliates grow to almost 2,300 people. And it's a simple strategy that we use to help people to do exactly what we're doing that can be done in 20 to 30 minutes per day. So it's challenge time for you. I would really challenge you to get in, get started, and get committed. The advantage that Karatbars International plan offers you is the opportunity to open your personal online offshore cash management system using your very own secure website from the privacy of your own home. You can exchange currency and know that your exchange is backed by your gold. There are no associated commissions or fees for exchanging like banks and brokers. You have your gold delivered by FedEx, or you can request a free storage and you can exchange as often as you like. Now, I want to make additional information available to you. If you're a guest tonight, get back to obviously the person who invited you to come to this presentation tonight. But many of you probably have some questions, and you may need to have some more information. Maybe you'd like to have a copy of the compensation plan, because I haven't even really gone into it. I've talked about the 12-week plan, but I want you to know that if you engage in that 12-week plan, Karatbars gives you 7 different ways that you actually earn commissions with Karatbars. And if you'd like more information, more detailed information about Karatbars and the opportunity, if you're extremely serious, then just go to that email that's highlighted there, Spokane Gold Rush at gmail.com. That's Spokane Gold Rush at Gmail, and just send me an email tonight and say, Scott, I'd like to get more information. I'll send you another recorded, more detailed business presentation that's about an hour and 10 minutes. I'll also send you a link to the full compensation plan, and also to an introduction page which has some simple instructions on how to set up your free account, how to file your KYC documents, which you'll need to do before you purchase your marketing package or any gold that you might want to buy. So you can do that by simply zapping me an email right away to SpokaneGoldRush at gmail.com. And then, of course, what we'll do is we'll talk, we'll make sure we're on the same page, and we'll help you get started right away with Karatbars. And I think you'll be thrilled that you did, because people's lives are being changed. It's a business that makes perfect sense, because it's the only business that I know that actually pays you to save. I mean, in closing, people ask me to give the most concise description I could. Let's just say I look and I see my good friend Wesley on the call. Let's say Wesley is a member of ABC Vitamin Company. And Wesley just joined ABC Vitamin Company. And when he signed up, he found out that he had to spend $400 to set up his website. And he got a couple $100 worth of pills, potions, and lotions, and some really pretty brochures for $400. And then he found out that he had to spend $150 every month in buying more products each and every month if he wanted to be qualified to receive a paycheck. And if he even made a paycheck, he would be required every month thereafter to spend X amount of dollars. Some of them are 100, some of them are 200, some of them are even more. And that's called an auto ship. Thank heavens with Karatbars, they're financially stable. And they don't charge you to set up an account. They give you a free website. They give you everything for free. There's no hidden fees. There's no hosting fees. There's no yearly renewal fees. There's nothing. There's no required purchasing. If you're just going to become a free affiliate and you're not going to want to participate in the 12-week plan that we showed you, then there obviously is no monthly requirement to be involved as a free affiliate or even a customer. That makes us different. So at the end of the year, what does Wesley have? He has spent $1,800, and he has $1,800 worth of pills, potions and lotions out in his garage. And probably because they've been sitting out there for a year or longer, most of them have gone beyond their expiration date. So Wesley, at the end of every year, carries all of those boxes, those 12 boxes, over to the dumpster, and he puts those in it, at least the ones that he has not consumed himself. Now, Wesley just found out about Karatbars, and Wesley was thrilled to find out that he now doesn't have to pay to join, doesn't have to pay $400 just to become a Karatbars affiliate. It's absolutely free. He gets paid if he refers people through our monthly unilevel compensation and pool bonuses. He doesn't have to buy any gold at all, although it would really be foolish for Wesley to be involved with Karatbars if he wasn't doing it to protect and help his family. But what does Wesley have at the end of the year? Is Wesley going to take his 24, or I'm sorry, he's saving a minimum of 4 to 5 grams a month. So is he going to take his 60 grams of gold at the end of the year and take them over to the dumpster and throw them away? Or would Wesley, if he needed that money, be able to go down to his local gold and silver shop and actually get them to pay fair market value, whatever the value of that gold is at that point in time? The point I'm making is that Wesley just learned the very valuable percentage of people, the percentage of people that don't know this fact is he's found a business that actually pays him to help others to learn to save money the right way and to protect their family. That makes Karatbars a completely different opportunity. And so I always like to say to people, I can help you generate leads through our email marketing program, but just think right now when you go to bed tonight, as this probably will be on your mind for at least the next few hours, is who do you know right now that needs Karatbars? Who do you know? People that you love. Maybe it's your brother. Maybe it's your son or daughter. I was talking to a gentleman up in North Dakota. I don't know that he's on the call, but he told me on a voice message today he works up on the oil fields up in North Dakota. And because of the oil collapse in prices, he says, we have about 200 drillers up there right now, 200 drilling units. And he said, did you realize that there's around 30 to 40 of these drilling units that have already been shut down because they cannot make it? They're going to go bankrupt. And he called me today and he said, guess what? His name's Greg. Don't think Greg is on here tonight. No. And he said that he heard a rumor today that tomorrow it will be announced that there have been over 7,000 layoffs in the last week or two up in North Dakota. And I heard earlier this last week that they estimate that if the prices continue to fall of the crude oil prices, that there could be over 250,000 people in Texas alone that are working out in the shale oil projects that will lose their jobs. So are you prepared for what's ahead for you? Because nobody with the economy in the position that it's in today has any guarantee that they are safe in their jobs. And especially for those of you that are holding on to retirement programs, 401ks, IRAs, and have money in banks and the stock market, you are in danger. And as a watchman on the wall, you have received my warning today to open your eyes and take immediate steps now while there's still time. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I have the list of people that have attended, so tomorrow I will send you a recorded copy of this presentation to your email address that you enrolled into the webinar at, so you will be able to re-listen and to share this with perhaps just a few people that you love and care about, and hopefully they will see this as, I think, the greatest opportunity in these last days before the collapse of the world currencies and the